Avian noodles, the doodles. I nailed it, you nailed it, we all nailed it. Here and you nailed it.
Hey, uh, hold on, let me start over. Welcome back to Nail It Projects. It has occurred to me, I've showed you guys the planter boxes inside the greenhouse and the one outside, but I've never shown how I constructed them or what the design plan was. And they're all made from pallets. All of them are made from pallets. So I decided, let me do an actual video from start to finish. Well, not finish, yeah, without staining them, painting them. You do them whatever color you want. But I'm just gonna show you the process and what I did. And you need a claw hammer. For those of you who don't have a sawzall, you don't have to go buy or rent one. It's just I have one, and that's what I use to cut the nails instead of taking nails out one by one. It's tedious. Tried it before. But I use a sawzall, and then I use a battery-powered circular saw and screws and a drill. That's it. So you just need a claw hammer to take the nails out, or a sawzall to cut the nails, give you the whole boards, and I'll show you from there. So let me cut this pallet up and show you how I'll make one from start to finish. You may not be able to get a whole planter box from a pallet unless you make it extremely short. And I say that because I need two large and a small. I'm just going to call them that for one side. So that is one side. This is the other side. Now, for the two short sides, I just need another two big and a small. And what I do is measure and cut them directly down the middle. That gives me my two sides. The reason I say you may not be able to get a whole planter box that's raised out of a pallet, you have enough lateral pieces, but the legs itself. I had these scraps at home, decided to pick them up, and I'm going to cut them to the length of the other planter boxes I have inside the greenhouse right now to match up. So I'm going to cut these off and go from there. Then on the inside, I chose to use alternating pieces, big and small, then put brown paper bags in the bottom, then fill it with dirt. You can use, what is that stuff, that barrier, weed barrier, or you can seal the whole bottom of it, but I did it because it storms in my area a lot. And I don't want the bed getting saturated and the water staying in there, so it has a place to drain. That's why I went with brown paper bag. It'll go down and the heat will pull it out from the bottom. Eventually over time the bags will break, deteriorate, and natural drainage. And of course, the battery only has one cell. Gotta go charge it. Some people would say, I can't. What I'm hearing is, I won't. Good old sawzall. Perfect. Place your legs on the outside of the box or the inside. It's all up to you. I chose to put mine on the outside. The long sides are complete. Just have to wait for that battery to charge so I can cut the short sides.
The next day.
Boards are cut, pre-drill the holes, put screws in, make it easier. So for this one, the legs ended up on the inside because I didn't screw the short sides first. I did the long sides first. But for the legs to be on the outside, screw the short sides first, and then add the long sides to it. That way you can put the legs on the outside. There it is. Apart from the legs being on the inside, whereas the ones at home, they're on the outside, it'll fit perfectly next to the others. Now I just gotta cut the rails to the bottom to put the braces in, and I'm gonna do something different with this one. Just to give an example of what I was saying earlier, this is the way the ones in the greenhouse look. All right, this is how I made it. You want a nice, clean, professional look, you can go with this one. I prefer to go with this one because 90-degree angle on the inside versus this. And nearing the end of this planter box, literally all I did was put the bottom brace, the cross pieces, marked it, then I'm going to cut it off, and on the other side I used 5 screws. Now just mark, cut, and screw these pieces in. But I'm going to do something different than I did with the previous boxes I made. And this is what it looks like. Now, an upgrade different to what I did to my boxes. I'm going to use actual weed barrier and put in the bottom. And this is the perfect width for what I need. I guess you can say this is more of a, I don't know, professional way of doing it. But what I'm going to do, see if I can get you guys right over it. Kind of fighting the wind here. Just going to lay in the bottom. Alright. And I'm going to leave the 2 middle braces where they are. Pick up the end ones. Pull it as tight as I can. And use the end pieces to hold it tight. So I'm going to screw the side in first and then do the other head. Here it is, complete piece. Paint, your favorite color. I wouldn't say stain, and use organic paint on the outside. If you're going for that wow factor, I guess. Or use a torch and scorch the wood. Bring out all the wood grain. Make it look natural. Depending on your environment. I will say, do not let your screws come in contact with the material. it will twist and pull it every which way, and you have to start over. If I may suggest, you can use a staple gun and staple along the edges, and then put your braces in. Or put your braces in, then put the weed barrier in. But this is an option you have. It'll still drain, and even with this little opening, dirt won't really escape. So here it is. This is how I made my planter boxes in my greenhouse. Hope you guys enjoyed it. This is something you can learn from in doing your own. We still have a lot of time this year. Get some pallets. Make your own planter boxes. Or get ready for next year. It's up to you. So if you have a little, let's say you have 20 feet in your backyard, you can literally put up 2 of these and have your own little, gardening section. And I can give you tips on how to grow stuff in the winter using these same boxes. So if you're interested, send me a comment, hit me an email, and I'll give you ideas on how to safeguard these boxes during the winter and still have vegetables. All right, appreciate you guys watching. As always, thank you for the support. The views are coming in, the likes are great. Still working on subscribers though. Help me get up there, get an algorithm, and we can bring more people on board. All right, love you guys.